Hey guys, I thought I'd do another video today on my clownfish. I know you all thought I'd never get any clownfish. Not a fan of clownfish. However, I was able to get these guys really cheap from the Corner Reef fish store. One of the fish stores I do go to. Got a really good deal. So they're a mated pair and they are laying eggs. Just regular Oscularis Nemos. Just got them, just put them in the tank today, so we'll see how they do. Of course, they went straight from my elegance coral. However, they have been over here checking out my carpet anemone and these bubble tips over here. Now, I will say this about carpet clownfish tend to stay away from carpet anemones. Their main thing is the bubble tips. However, over here we have my skunk clowns. They live in these carpet anemones. Very non-aggressive. However, they obviously aren't going to share their bubble tips with any other fish. So these guys have been trying their hand at, they go from the elegance over to here. Now the carpet anemones, if they dive head first in the carpet anemone, that's it. Carpet anemone sees them as food. So what they're going to do, and I've seen them start to do it, they'll just take their tail and kind of, they sit on the bubble tip right here and they put their tail on the tentacles of the carpet anemone. And they kind of feel them out. When they're ready to go into the carpet anemone, they usually will go into it real slow and they start wiggling their bodies real fast, which then signals to the carpet anemone that they're not, don't eat me, I'm not going to hurt you, blah, 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 I'm not food. And so eventually they'll be able to host in the carpet, and the carpet anemone will allow them to live in there. Eventually. But if the clown, like I said, if the clown gets overzealous and dives straight into your carpet anemone, that's it. So their natural host would be the bubble tip. So they've been kind of bouncing between there, a little bit in the carpet anemone, testing that out, and then my cotton candy elegance coral, which is a not cheap piece right there. So I'm trying my hand at going with these. Now so far these guys aren't biting me, whatever. I've never had an issue with them. I've always had maroon clowns years ago, and they would go across a 6-foot tank to bite you or anybody else that was in the tank. So that was a horrible thing. So I haven't had clownfish really since. So that was years ago. But like it was pointed out to me the other day that you can't have a saltwater tank without a clownfish. And I kind of laughed and was like, yeah, whatever. But then I saw these two cute little guys, and they were, like I said, I got a really good deal. So here they are. So definitely, but what you do, when you all get a pair of clownfish, it's never a guarantee they're going to hop in an anemone. Their slime coat, they have to build their slime coat up enough so they don't get stung by an anemone. Bubble tip stings are really mild compared to the Hadani. It's the Hadani, I have two Hadanis. I got that neon green Hadani and I got a red one. So those stings are potent. I mean, if something swims into it, they get stung once, they will die. I pulled fish, they've eaten, and it's not, they don't crawl around and take eating fish. I've said this a million times. I have no hesitation to putting, I love carpets. I'd put them in a tank. It's rare. The only time I've had them, a new fish getting in the tank, I try to introduce them on the other end of the tank over here, not by the carpet anemone, because if they get spooked, I've had them do this, swim straight into it. They get stung once, even if I pull them out of there before the anemone eats it, but it could be seconds after, and then they die. That's it. So, don't try to force them in anything. Some people try to go the extreme, put baskets over anemones with the clown in it. Clowns have to build up their slime coat to be able to sit in an anemone without getting stung. So the best is let nature take its course, So if they go in a coral or whatever, as long as it's a big coral, I'm not worried about them hurting this. They're not tearing this one up bad. So they just go, actually at all. So they eventually, like these guys, corals close up at night. So they go over here and they sleep in the bubble tip at night. So eventually it'll be their home over here. And I know that. So they keep going over there more and more often, so. Anyway, I would, just let nature take its course. I wouldn't try baskets over anemones and forcing the situation. You know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, if you want a guaranteed deal, you know, you need to go to your fish store and actually buy an anemone with a clown already in it, buy the clown with it or whatever. You know, and if you have a coral tank with no, like mine, you see mine, I have coral all over, you know, but I also have probably 10 bubble tip anemones. I got 2 carpets, so I'm not worried about them. You know, I have a little island over here. Most of my anemones live there. Carpet anemones, they don't crawl up on the rocks. They bury their foot in the sand bed. I'm not really worried about them, you know, destroying corals, climbing all over everything. You know, they find a place they like and they sit there. So if you want clowns in a reef tank, you know, and you don't want them like, you know, living in your prized, expensive, you know, torch coral, holy grail, whatever, then you do need to get an anemone that they can live in. And they'll eventually find it. So that's my advice on that one. So anyway, guys, thought I'd share this with y'all, and thank you, and have a great day.